Samuel Amoa is a member of the Plantation and Seedling Scheme, one of those groups that supplied government seedlings for the project in the previous years. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Yes, so your group, Plantation and Seedling Scheme, who are you and when were you formed?
Good evening again, and thank you to your listening, cherished listeners. We formed this, as you know, in every society. Before your voice can be heard, you need to put yourself together. In view of this, we, the Plantation Developers and Seedling Contractors Association, formed this association in Kumasi. And we know for the past 2 months, we've been behind the scenes. We've been writing letters to the ministry. We've been pressurizing Forestry Commission. We even once a time went to finance so that they can pay us. We've spoken to them. We've done all that we could, but still they've not paid us.
But so, how much are you owed? How much does government owe you?
Earlier on, if you quite remember, we said the government owes us about 28 billion, and then Honorable Benito quickly came back to
28 what? 28 what? Million
Ghana cedis.
Million.
And then Honorable Benito came back to rebut that figure, and he said 28 million Ghana cedis. Well, we are not challenging him.
Sorry, let's get this. You said initially you said government owed you 28 billion Ghana cedis, but 28 billion. And the Honorable Benito said, corrected you as you say, that no, it's not 28 billion, but it's 28 million. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But what is the right figure? You provided or supplied the seedlings. How much really does government owe you?
Yes, you see, we cannot get the exact figure because they have the data. We are these seedling contractors. We are not the only people. The group that we are talking to, we are not the only people. We have people.
But you don't know how much government owes you, so it's government's figure you will work with.
Yes, but Honorable Benito made us to know that government owes the contractors 28 million Ghana cedis.
Yes, because 28 billion, as you were claiming, was outrageous. 28 billion is a lot of money. 28 million appears, reasonable. But it's strange that you claim government owes you. You do not know how much government owes you. You don't keep records. You don't know how many seedlings you provided government. You don't know how much one seedling costs, so you could multiply it and see that the figure government owes you. So when government tells you I owe you 1 cedi, you will take it. Government says I don't owe you, you will take it.
No, we didn't take it because, as I said, we have people who have raised the tree, supplied government from Western North, from Brownful, from Ashanti, from Eastern, from Northern, who we didn't have the data. You get it? So, but the latest data we had was about 28 billion that we said, and Honorable Benito debunked that figure. Whatever it is, all that we need is that if even we owe us 1 cedi, you pay us. That is all that we need. It's the payment that matters to us. Because we've not been paid for about since 2021, 2022, both Green Ghana and then the normal afforestation that they've been doing. But we have been raising seedlings for them, and they are not paying us.
Very well, so how what's the arrangement really between you and government? How were you contracted? How were your services procured? How did you get to enter this arrangement with government? You were just called one day that supplied seedlings, or there was a process you went through and your group was chosen? How did you get to provide or supply government the seedlings?
You see, individual have their contracts. So we applied. I have my company, somebody has his company. There are so many companies put together. And then we applied to the Forestry Commission. The Forestry Commission will say, okay, supply this. At the end of the day, when the time is due, will go to the district managers or the district forest officers at the various districts. That they will tell you, send this to this point, send this to this point, send this to this point. At the end of the day, if I'm able to supply, let's say 10, and Mr. B was able to supply maybe 20, at the end of the season, they collate them and then put them together and then forward them to Accra, their head office. So that is how it is done.
So was there a bidding process you partook in? That a bidding process you partook in? You maybe won the bid, and so you were then picked or selected by due process to provide this.
It means when you say bid, it means maybe contractor A, contractor B, and then I will bid for 20 cedis, and then contractor B will bid for 10 cedis, and then maybe at the end of the day, contractor C will bid for 5 cedis. So the 5 cedis will be chosen. This one, they have their figure. Previously, it was 1 cedi 20 pesos, and then it came to 1 cedi 50 pesos. So they have their figure. They will tell you this year is 1 cedi 20 pesos, it's 1 cedi 50 pesos. So raise this quantity. That is how it is.
I see. So now that government owes you about 28 million. How are you getting your money back? So it means that this year, your group was not part of those who supplied government the seedlings. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Earlier on, we said we heard that they've written letters to all the districts, telling the district officers or district managers that they should not contract any contractor to supply anything. Where they are getting the seedlings for this year's Green Ghana, that one we can't tell because none of us were asked to supply. None of us. And the questions we are raising now is, where did they get the seedlings from? Even they had the seedlings, the one who raised the seedlings, when they pay that person, so who raised the seedlings? They are not Ghanaians like us. They are Ghanaians like us. So why is it that the Ghanaians are like us and we have raised seedlings and they are not paying us, and will the people be paid? Why are they paying? Why are they doing that to us? For the past 3 years, and you know the trauma and hardships that people are going through. It's not easy. Look, people are dying.
But you have a contract with government. You just told me, if you have a contract and the other party is not fulfilling his side of it, I mean, there are options available to you to enforce your rights under the contract.
Yes, there are options, but you know, yes, there are options. There are so many options. We can't just get up and say, oh, we are going to do this or that. We first talk to them. We've been going there. We've been talking to them. They've been having previously write a letter, do that. So at the end of the day, we see that we are not seeing any fruitful results. Seriously. So we have put some measures in place now. That one I cannot disclose what we are doing now. We are petitioning a very respectable person. After that, if that fails, then maybe we will advise ourselves.
Who is this respectable person? The chief, I guess.
If you are going to a war, I think you don't disclose your strategy.
No, but you have a contract. You have a contract. You can go to court and enforce the contract, can't you?
Yes, when you get there, when the time is due, and there is a need for us to go to the court, we'll go. But for now, we are also on a different path. All that we are appealing to them is that, Nana Akufo-Addo, you are our children. We beg you, please, people are dying. Some people have their houses pasted with that they want to. They are even at the edge of losing their houses. They don't even have money to go to hospital. We are dying. Every day police are chasing us. The creditors are looking for our money, and it's true. They also need their money for their businesses. You see, why should they treat us like that? It's bad, seriously. We are sad, as if we are not Ghanaians. As if we are not Ghanaians. And we started these seedlings not these 2 years ago, long ago. Long ago. Every day, every year, we have been supplying government. Until quite recently that YEA and other things, during on His Excellency Kufuor's side, we were supplying. We're supplying.
I see.
Even if you owe a person, like let's say 2 cedis, you can call them. Look, ever since we came to the media, telling them that they should pay us, they have never called us. Even to sit down with us, we've heard you. We appreciate your concerns, but please give us time or this or that. None.
But the minister, but the deputy minister, Benito Usubi, have you met him? He said that, his ministry is actively collaborating with the finance ministry to pay you. So it means that your concerns are before him.
When is the collaboration going to end?
So that's what he said. He said so today.
When is this collaboration going to end? He said this since some months ago. Yes. He said this since. We thought even last year that when we started making a little noise, we thought you could even, but now we should have been paid. He said that we are going to be paid.
Very well.
And now, nothing. One person has not been paid to the members. Why?
Very well, very well. But it's only quite strange that you have a contract and you do not know how much you are owed, but you expect the minister to pay you some amount of money. That is a bit curious for many people.
The minister have a data. The Energy Forestry Commission, they have a data.
But what is on your contract? How much, what is your contract sum?
If you ask me, what is your company? And I say my company is Company B. And you ask me how much is the government, I'll be able to tell you.
Okay, so the totality of what you are unable to say.
The totality is what we are unable to say.
Very well.
That's correct.
I see.
That's correct.
Thank you so much, Samuel Amo, a member of the Plantation and Seedlings Scheme.